Let's begin with that great-grandmother who was tasered by a deputy constable. We'll talk exclusively with Sue Winkfine in a moment. But first, Today National correspondent Amy Roback has the details of the story. Amy, good morning.
Good morning to you, Matt. It happened back in May during what started out as a routine traffic stop. But things quickly became anything but routine when that 72-year-old dared the officer to tase her. It's one of the most watched videos on YouTube, a Texas traffic stop that ended with 72-year-old great-grandmother getting zapped twice with a taser. It started when a deputy constable saw this pickup truck speeding through a construction zone. Deputy Chris Beasy may not have been expecting trouble from a 4'11" Catherine Winkfine, but right away the constable got an earful.
Take me to jail. Don't take me to jail. 72-year-old woman.
The deputy tried to get Winkfine to sign a traffic ticket, agreeing that she'd showed up for court. When she refused, he opened the door to arrest her, and that's when the trouble started.
Give me the thing, I'll sign it. Get over here now. Give it to me and I'll sign it. You're going to shove me? Man, you're going to shove a 72-year-old woman?
Authorities say that shove was to get both of them off the busy highway. As minutes passed, the standoff continued.
I'm getting back in my car. You're going to be tased. Stop. I'm getting back in my car. No, ma'am.
And then the officer made good on his promise.
No, ma'am. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Winkfine was hit twice with the taser before she was finally handcuffed and taken to jail, charged with resisting arrest. Before this dashboard video was released, she denied being difficult in an interview with a local Fox station.
I wasn't argumentative. I was not combative, okay? All of this is a lie. Every bit of this is a lie.
Authorities say the 72-year-old did not require medical attention, but Winkfine later demanded $135,000 for pain, suffering, and humiliation. Even though an internal investigation revealed the officer did everything by the book, Travis County offered Winkfine a $40,000 settlement, which she's accepted. The constable's office calls that a miscarriage of justice.
When the county wrote a check for $40,000, you rewarded this defendant for bad behavior, which is wrong.
So if the officer did nothing wrong, why then the settlement deal? A Travis County judge says defending a lawsuit from Winkfine could have cost the county a lot more than just $40,000. Matt.
All right, Amy, thank you very much. Catherine Sue Winkfine is with us exclusively, along with her son, Steve Eastland, and her attorney, Thomas Turtelot. Good morning to all of you. It's nice to see you. Full disclosure, we spent some time together yesterday, right? I got to know you a little bit. We talked. You seemed like an awfully nice lady to me. You couldn't have been more polite. And then I look at that tape, Sue, and I think, which one is the real Sue Winkfine?
Well, this one is definitely. I just lost my temper. I do that maybe twice a year, but that day I lost it.
So when you look at the tape of what happened that day and you see yourself behaving that way, what do you think?
I think if I had to do it over, I would just not say anything, not react.
Even though you disagreed with the whole speeding concept, you didn't think you should have been pulled over.
Well,
but you did resist arrest.
Well, how did I resist?
I got to interrupt here. I don't want. We're not going to talk about it.
Based on what you see on the tape, did you behave in an appropriate manner with that deputy constable?
No.
No. And when you gave that interview to the local TV station and you said, I did not resist arrest, I did not become argumentative, that was before you knew that there was a camera rolling on this the whole time. You didn't tell the truth there, did you?
Actually, I told what I remembered, because when he tased me and kept it on and it threw me to the ground, that erased all memory. I have no memory until later when I was way away from there on my back. So I have no memory of being on my stomach.
When we first ran this story back in May, folks, there was split reaction. A lot of people thought she got what she deserved. He warned her over and over again to cooperate, and she didn't, so she got what she deserved. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I said at the time. There were a lot of other people who said under no circumstances do you taser a 72-year-old, 4'11" woman, not only once, but twice. Do you think you were mistreated in any way?
Definitely.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, at my age and the taser like that, he turned it on and kept it on. And
then hit her a second time.
Yeah, and then tased me the second time. That was too much.
The other thing is, she twice offered to sign the ticket when she got to the back of the truck. I still don't understand why he never gave her the opportunity to sign the ticket and proceeded forward with trying to arrest her. He could have very easily said, let's step over here, let's sign the ticket, and we can all go down the road.
Do you guys worry about, I mean, what I thought at the time, Steve, and I'll let you handle this one, I thought, well, what happens if this had gotten more, like right there, more out of hand? She'd walked out on the street, and some poor driver coming along swerves to avoid her and ends up getting killed.
Well, actually, if you look at the dash cam, his cruiser is out into the street, pretty much blocking traffic. I don't think that was possible for that to happen.
So you don't think this could have gotten more dangerous for Sue, for your mom?
I think he had the opportunity to shut the thing down and didn't do it like Tom just said, indicated. Twice she offered to sign the ticket, let's all go home.
I grant she used an expletive the first time, but, you know, that should have made it clear she was ready to sign the ticket.
Yeah, Steve, let me ask you this. Am I missing something here? Your mom is 72 years old. As I mentioned, she's 4'11".
Retired school teacher.
Retired school teacher. She's the mother of 3, the grandmother of 11, and great-grandmother of 3 more. How did she end up starring in that video?
You know, when I got the phone call that she was ready to be released from the facility, it was surreal. I mean, I said, released from what? And then they informed me she'd been tased. Again, the only word to describe that is surreal. It's so far out of character for her that...
If you ask him how many times in his life he's seen me mad, what would you say?
You know, never. You know, just once in a while, but never like this.
This is doozy that got caught on tape. And do you feel bad at all about accepting that $40,000? Because there are some people who said you misbehaved and you're being paid to reinforce that misbehavior.
I don't know that I have an opinion on that. I'm not a moneyed person, you know what I'm saying? But then Steve and I say, well, even poor people don't like being poor. But we're not a greedy type, so, you know.
Could charges still be pressed in this?
There is informal charges. There could still be charges pressed. I'm optimistic that won't happen at this point, but it could still happen.
But the headline here, Sue, is if this were to happen again and you were to be pulled over again by a different deputy the same, you would do what?
Say nothing.
Stay in the car and sign the ticket?
I would not react to anything.
I think she's learned not to dare the officers.
Sue and Steve and Tom, thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it. And by the way, any lasting effects from the taser? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Now, I did have to go to a clinic. I had 2 holes and one of them got infected.
But you're all right now.
I'm fine.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.